Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Plot Pilled podcast. I am Dallan,
I'm Jordan.
and we're on episode 12, I believe. Episode 12.
Yeah, lost count.
Yeah, we're on episode 12. I know because I upload them. So, yeah, we're on episode 12. And we have quite a bit to get through today, and we're doing the same structure as we did last episode. So
Yeah,
just continuing the structure that we had, and I like it a lot.
I like this structure.
It's comfortable.
I think we're gonna stick with this. Yeah.
Yeah. So first, we're gonna start out with our news flash segments. Again, working titles on these. I'll have to figure out. I have to sit down one day and just kind of like come up with like I don't know snappy titles for these segments or something. I don't know. But this is for now going to be called the news flash segments. This is basically the segment of the show where we just talk about quick little news flashes that interest us, that we find fascinating. And yeah, so first one is that the Expanse is getting a video game, which I don't know if this is new news. I don't know when this was announced. But it's exciting.
It's new to us.
Yeah, it's new to us. I'm very excited for it. I think that it's gonna be incredibly cool. It's made by the same people who made Baldur's Gate 3, which, if that's any indication of quality, that means that this is going to be really good. Now, it is a third-person sci-fi action RPG, so I'm guessing it's probably going to be third-person shooter, maybe? More akin to something like Mass Effect, where you're actually, like, walking... Instead of Baldur's Gate, where it's a top-down and you click where you want your character to go, it's instead going to be more like maybe Mass Effect, where you're actually, like, moving and walking around. Yeah.
Most close third-person games.
Yeah.
Limited third-person.
Yeah. But, I mean, they already kind of have their pre-orders out. You can get the standard pack for $50, the deluxe pack for $60, or the Miller's pack,
nice.
for $80.
You get his outfit.
You do get his outfit. You get his revolver too,
Funny.
and a UN Spec Ops sniper rifle, and along with everything else you get for the deluxe pack. So.
Oh, and Miller's OPA heavy armor too.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I mean, that's not a bad deal, honestly. For some of the absolute ridiculous monetization of video games, especially when you get the pre-order packs. Some of these freaking companies, man, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna charge like $120 for a pre-order pack for a game that you don't even know if that's gonna be very good.
Right.
But like, this costs the same as a Switch 2 game. So like, if you were to go out and buy the latest Mario Kart, it costs $80. This will cost $80, so it's pretty good deal.
Are you gonna buy it?
I think I'm gonna get it. I think we might play it. We might play it on Plot Pilled. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Here's the collector's edition. That's $289. But because it's $289, you get an actual spaceship figurine. You get an actual sticker set, an actual medallion, patches, an art book that's printed, a collector's box, and everything else.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. And everything else in the Miller's pack.
If I had $289 just lying
around, yeah. I think I'm just
really
gonna get
it.
I think I'm just gonna get the Miller's pack for it.
That's fair.
But no, I'm very excited for this. It sounds like the plot is gonna be taking place sort of during the events of the show.
Slash books. First books.
Slash like first five or something like that.
No, I think actually the show, well, I haven't gotten all the way through the books. I think the show only covers maybe the first 3 or 4. I know
that's
the
crazy.
First book covers the first 2 seasons.
Oh, okay.
The first 2 seasons is the first 2 books.
Yeah.
First 2 books. Because spoiler alert too, and if you guys haven't seen The Expanse, but you love sci-fi, go watch it. It's one of my absolute favorite shows. Like, and it's what I would consider hard sci-fi too. It's very science-based. Like,
yes.
The guys who wrote it they thought through their shit.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as me, like a layman would know, I'm not an engineer or anything, so
yeah,
there might be stuff in there if you're an engineer, but it's an excellently written, especially the show. It's on Amazon? Is it on Amazon?
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite shows ever. I love it. I rewatch it every couple years.
Yeah, yeah. I really like. I need to rewatch it. Because I've only watched, I think like it 1.5 times. I believe is how many times I've fully watched it.
Oh yeah, you need to rewatch.
But yeah,
Ryan and I were gonna start a rewatch soon, so I'll let you know when we do that. But the first book ends when Miller crash lands on, is it Venus? I think it's Venus.
Yeah.
He and Julie crash land on Venus. That's where the first book ends, but that doesn't happen until the end of season 2 or the middle of season 2 or something.
Like middle of season 2 or something like that.
Yeah, in the show. So.
But no, I like, and from what it sounds like, because I just switched over to a tab that says characters, it kind of focuses on characters. So it looks like this is definitely going to be sort of a sci-fi Baldur's Gate, but with like Mass Effect combat mechanics.
It looks very Mass Effect-y.
Yes, which is smart, because I don't think sci-fi really works for a Baldur's Gate-esque thing. No. I mean, there are some, don't get me wrong, there are some really great tabletop RPG sci-fi games out there, but I feel like in terms of a video game, you definitely want that punchy, third-person shooter sort of thing when you're playing sci-fi.
That's my favorite.
yeah. I'm excited for this. I think it's gonna be really cool.
Yep, it looks really cool.
And I'm looking at the combat. It looks very Mass Effect.
It does.
With how the combat works.
A little bit.
I kind of hope that it's a little lethal though, like it is in the show. Like you get hit, oh shit.
Right.
Like you don't have shields. You don't got
Right. No, you don't have shields. You you get hit and you're in trouble.
Yeah. Like you need to immediately get yourself to a place that has air if you're fighting in space. Which I'm excited also to see if they do any like 0G like gunfights, which would be really cool.
That would be interesting.
To do in like, because I know Starfield tried to do that, and it sucked. So like I would hope that Owlbear kind of does something a little bit more with it. But I'm excited for it. I like the Expanse. I think it'll be very fun.
Yep, I love the Expanse. Let's swap 2 and 3. Because 2 goes directly into something we're talking about later. So.
Fair. So we're going to be talking about the first official teaser trailer for Wildwood from LAIKA, which I am very excited for. Just the small little glimpses we got of actual like character stuff in it looks really cool. I really like the art direction that they're doing with it. Just LAIKA, we've discussed this in a previous episode. LAIKA never has yet to disappoint me with with anything that they come out with, and from just the character designs and the creature designs that you just get a glimpse of in this trailer, it looks really freaking cool. So.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. We don't know much about the story yet, just that the main character is looking for her younger brother, and it is kind of like not Bridge to Terabithia, because all of that was imagination, but a little bit like that in the sense that it is, she comes from like Portland or whatever, modern day Portland, and steps out into the woods, and all of a sudden it's all fantasy stuff. Except for her, it's actually there.
Yeah.
So not like the kids.
Like a mix between Terabithia and Coraline.
Yeah, a little bit. Like it's actually there, but it's also grounded in real world stuff. But anyway, main character seems to be looking for her younger brother. Or that's really all we know about the story so far.
Here's a deep dive: Spiderwick Chronicles. If you remember that movie at all. It was.
I barely.
It was the one where they had to. The only way they could see the monsters was if they had the little monocles. But like they were trying to protect their house from all these trolls and stuff. It kind of reminds me of that too.
I do remember that. Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in years, and by the way, if you know that movie, you and I are friends because like
points to you.
Yeah, points to you because like that is such a deep dive.
I can't remember that. I mean, I remember it a little bit, but I don't remember if it was good or not. Or
I remember it being okay.
Yeah, I think it was like...
I remember it
was
being alright.
Right there after The Lord of the Rings, and then you had Narnia,
mm-hmm.
and then after that you had Bridge
Golden Compass.
Yep, Golden Compass, Bridge to Terabithia. All those freaking, like, middle grade fantasy things.
Mm-hmm.
Just wham, smacking you in the face.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, predictably, most of them were mediocre.
Well, yeah, the problem with a lot of them was that they tried to cram a bunch of books into one movie.
Yeah, they rushed it.
Yeah.
They wanted to get it out fast. Oh, and Harry Potter, too.
Harry Potter yeah.
also kicked... Harry Potter was
off.
good, but it was part of what kicked off
mm-hmm.
that whole trend back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
So...
But...
It was wrapped up in that. That's what I remember about it.
Kind of a cherished moment, though, in my, like, nostalgia childhood.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I remember a lot of those movies, and I remember enjoying them a lot when I was a kid, so
mm-hmm.
it's kind of a nostalgic thing for me.
That's fair enough.
But yeah, I get that same nostalgia from Wildwood.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it.
It definitely looks cool, so we'll be keeping an eye on that one. And then the last thing we have in this segment is that Stranger Things finally dropped an actual full-length trailer for
They've been dropping images like crazy before.
No, have you seen all the filler shit that they have been putting out there? Like, these characters react to this character moment, or the actors mm-hmm. react to their character moment, or they relive, what it was like on this set. And I'm like, who the F cares?
Just give us a trailer.
Yes, just put season 5 trailer out, or admit that you have completely dropped the ball and your scheduling sucks and you have failed everyone.
Yeah.
Like, quit. I hate it when they do that, because you know that they're just trying to stay in, like, the conversation or whatever. They're trying to stay visible because they know it's been way too freaking long.
Well, and yeah, it's just it's so.
But it's like they're dropping stuff no one cares about.
It's so funny because from the trailer it looks like they didn't even really try, in terms of trying to make these actors look younger than they are.
No,
because
no,
there's a specific scene that I saw, and yes, I'll preface this with, yes, I'm a man. All right, so let's get that out of the way right away.
Don't be a dude.
Yeah, I'm a dude. Newsflash. I'm particularly a straight dude. So when they're walking, when freaking 11 is walking in the upside down in these like tight booty shorts, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm like, you're not even trying to like make her look younger. You're just Millie Bobby Brown. You're like, yeah, she filled out. Like, great.
Right, there you go. I mean,
I'm just like, what?
Unless there's a significant time skip in the plot,
maybe, which means that they would have to be under quarantine for a while.
Okay, so this is why when I texted Dallan about this trailer, I was like, they ripped off the 28 days, 28 years saga. Like, they're quarantined. The government just said, F you people, we're just gonna cordon y'all off and Godspeed. Like,
yeah,
fend for yourselves,
yeah.
Figure it out. Because that's what it felt like. But I don't know how feasible it is that they'd be stuck there for years without Vecna coming for them and just ripping them apart. Like, why would he just hang around?
Well, like, one funny thing that kind of happened along with this, to kind of talk about the ages of these characters and these actors portraying these characters, if they did do a time skip, because there was an image that was released, a couple weeks ago, that was of them recreating, like, all the boys recreating the shot of Dustin trying to beat the arcade, right? And it's like he's leaned in and everyone's all leaned around him.
Mm-hmm.
And Lucas has like a full-on goatee.
Yeah.
And it's like bro.
Like, aren't they 15? Supposedly?
Yeah, supposedly.
16
like,
at most at this point.
It's not just like Millie Bobby Brown that's like, looking older physically. It's also, freaking, the guy who plays Lucas and, like, and
have y'all been stuck here for 3
and Noah Schnapp and, like, all of them look...
Well, have you been stuck here for 3 or 4 years? Like, I think that's going to be a problem that they're going to...
Yeah.
Well, that they've probably already decided what to do, obviously, because most of it's shot.
Yeah.
But, like,
Which that means, like,
it's an issue.
If there is a time skip, that means Max has been in a coma for, like, who knows how long.
Well, but not only has she been in a coma, but if they've been quarantined, there's a good possibility that they're not dropping the medical supplies that you would need to keep someone in a coma alive.
For a comatose person.
Now, you see her in the trailer. What's his name?
Lucas
has her.
Is carrying her, and
so she's like off of all of her life support stuff. So like, okay, buddy, you might have just
killed her.
You might have just unplugged her. But I was a little. Well, I guess that would be like a thing that they wouldn't want to reveal in the trailer.
Yeah.
I was not. We're gonna get into Stranger Things more actually in this episode because Dallan and I are not huge fans of especially the last couple seasons. Dallan's not a fan of the last 3, I think, seasons. 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of either. I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan of the first one.
Love the first season.
Love the first season. 2 is okay. 3 is one of the worst pieces of television I've watched, and 4 is 4 is a little better than 3, but not by much.
Yeah, but just going back to the trailer though, it was like they're not gonna want you to know if Max wakes up or not.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of what happened to her. I
No,
thought it was bad storytelling.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Yeah.
But overall, I mean, there's not much going on story-wise in the trailer. The most we can tell is maybe time has passed, maybe not. We're not really sure.
A war breaks out at some point.
Well, they're trapped. They're either quarantined or they're trapped in this weird in-between. Like, Vecna has spread the Upside Down, but it didn't seem that. Like, that's not what it seemed like. It seemed like they were still in the town, but cordoned off because there's a bunch of military towers and guard towers and
like walls and stuff around them.
Right, so I'm guessing they went the 28 days later route and was just like, oh, screw you guys, we're just closing you off. We're not letting this, get out to the rest of the world, basically. And they're fighting a lot of different things. There's just a lot of fighting.
Yeah, there's a lot of fighting going on. At one point, there's like a shot with Dustin. He's got like a beat up face, so I don't know who's kicking the shit out of him. And then like at the very end, Vecna's like, "Well, you're going to help me one last time." Like
twirl, cue the mustache twirl.
Will be fat. Like that's probably the only thing in the entire trailer though that I was like, oh,
right.
I wonder how that's gonna play out.
Plot-wise, yeah, I think that was the only thing that caught my attention. Mm-hmm. And the only thing that had emotional resonance for me was what always has, which is Steve, I think, was hugging Dusty for some reason. And I was like, okay, good. Their relationship is still intact. Like, they're still, friends and everything. And because that's been one of my favorite relationships since the show has started. Dustin and Steve they are the best. They have the best, like, little brother, big brother dynamic.
They are the best characters throughout the entire show, in my opinion. That too. Yes. They are the two characters, like...
They're the strongest.
Even though I'm not a big fan of anything after past season 1, they're the ones that I'm like, I'm looking forward to seeing them, at least.
Right, like, I watch it for them.
Yeah, mostly.
And I really like Max, too, which again is why I was not a fan.
Yeah, I like
Max.
And
I like later seasons Lucas.
I like Nancy.
I like Nancy, too. She's pretty good.
Yeah, later seasons Lucas is badass. Yeah. I like Lucas a lot.
Yeah, the only character I don't like in the first season is Lucas, but every season after that, I like him more and more and more. So, like, he's one of the characters that grows correctly.
Yeah.
A lot of the others regress, and you're like, you're annoying.
When you get into season 1, when you go back to season 1 and you start looking at it from Lucas's point of view, you're like, yeah, I can kind of see where he's coming from, you know?
Yeah, I can.
But yeah,
so we'll be doing Stranger Things here in a little bit, but for now, we're going to move on to our weekly spotlight.
Yeah, which is going to be the storytelling of Yakuza 1, or Yakuza Kiwami is the version that we played together. If you guys do not know what a Yakuza series is, first of all, let me preface this by saying it is one of my favorite game series of all time, if not my favorite, for a multitude of reasons. But we'll probably get into that a little bit as we talk about it. It is essentially about what it says on the tin. It's about Yakuza. It's about the Yakuza clans, the families, the different intricacies of those families, and it's all revolving around one character named Kazuma Kiryu, who you play as for the first 6 games, and you go and basically follow his story throughout these 6 games, how from beginning to end of like his relationship with the Yakuza. The funny thing is, throughout most of it, he's not even a part of the Yakuza. He's just the one that a lot of the families kind of rely on, because he is reliable and he does care about a lot of the people inside the Mafia to help them with their deal. And usually their drama starts bleeding into his own life. So it's a really fun dynamic, and it's a great game. So we played through the entire first game, and it was Jordan's first experience.
Yep, we just finished it last week, so that's why this one's at top of mind right now.
Yes.
So,
and we'll probably do this with all the Plot Pilled Plays games that we do. We're gonna kind of do a review on the podcast of them, so it'll be a little nice throwback, nostalgia thing. So
yeah. So basically, we're just going to be talking about the storytelling. I crapped out on listing the stuff we were going to talk about. But if I remember right, it's the themes, it's the characters, it's relationships, narrative techniques.
Yep, story structure.
Yep, the story structure. And then why it works, even though it, on paper, maybe shouldn't.
yeah.
But it does.
Yeah,
so
no.
We'll get to that part, though.
Yeah. So, let's dive right in. First of all, because, people already kind of know what I feel about for the Yakuza games. For your first experience jumping into this crazy, wacky world of Japanese mafia, what was your thoughts on it?
No, I loved it. The gameplay's entertaining, even just from a, just watching it perspective. I wasn't the one playing it. I was just watching and commenting and embroidering sometimes.
Embroidering sometimes, yeah.
I'm trying to learn how to embroider. But anyway, no, I love the characters. I thought the story was very well laid out and very well paced. It's very Japanese in the sense that it interlaces very serious, heavy themes with just hilarious, random, quirky-ass shit. Majima's striptease was my favorite part of the whole game. Because I was sitting there making jokes the whole time about how Majima is hot for Kiryu. It was a joke, but, I was making the jokes, and then all of a sudden, there he is doing a striptease. I was like, oh my god, they went there. It's just another way to get Kiryu to fight him, but it's still hilarious, and it shows that they knew exactly what they were doing the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Majima's obsessed with this guy.
Yeah.
And he doesn't care what he has to do to get his attention.
Yeah.
So, when he does the striptease, it's freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
But it also has one of my absolute favorite tropes / character dynamics, which is, what do they call it? Technically, it's called, the lone wolf and the cub.
Yeah.
So, it's Kiryu.
Lost cub and lone wolf.
Yeah. Kiryu kind of taking Haruka on and protecting her and making sure she's okay and trying to help her find what she's looking for, which is her mom, which you don't know exactly who that is for real until quite a ways into the game.
Yeah. But you know that she's the aunt, or the woman that you talked to way back in the past was the aunt to her. It was her sister's kid. Because that's revealed pretty early on.
Yeah. So when Kiryu meets her, that's who he thinks she is
Yumi's
the niece of the woman that he was in love with.
Yes.
Basically. So, yeah. No, but I loved it. I thought it was super interesting. I'm very interested to see where it goes next. I thought the twists were handled well. I thought the villains were pretty good.
Jingu's kind of boring.
Jingu's just he's just generic, I guess, but it's but at the same time, can you really have two really impactful villains? You already have Nishiki.
Yeah.
Who's an idiot and gets everything that's coming to him, but at the same time, you're still kind of with him through that whole... Because they have... One thing that I really like that this game does very well is the mirroring.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we're just going to kind of get into the themes here a little bit.
Yeah.
But the mirroring between Kiryu and Nishiki. Like, Kiryu is the dragon of Dojima, and Nishiki is... His tattoo is a koi.
Yeah.
Which, if you know anything about Japanese mythology, koi swim upstream, and when they get to the
top of the
whatever,
waterfall,
then they get to become a dragon.
Yep.
So, right off the bat, you know that you understand their dynamic. You know what Nishiki's problem is. He's got a serious inferiority complex when it comes to Kiryu.
Yeah.
But they have this mirroring thing where at the beginning, Kiryu falls from grace, and Nishiki rises.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but the rest of the story, that slowly reverses. So Kiryu is climbing his way back up, basically going back up the waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
And Nishiki who never quite made it to the top, but he thinks he got close.
Yeah.
He's got a very negative arc in terms of, like, he starts out Kiryu's friend. He starts out caring about the people around him. He starts out as a nice guy, and just goes downhill fast. Whereas Kiryu doesn't like. Kiryu's a really cool character.
He's a great main character.
He doesn't necessarily change who he is fundamentally. So in that sense, he's a very Luffy-like character. We've talked about Luffy. How Luffy grows but doesn't change.
Yeah.
Kiryu grows, but he doesn't change. He never like reassembles himself fundamentally. He is who he is throughout that. Yeah. At least the first game. I'm not talking about the next ones because I've never seen them, never played them, don't know anything about them. I won't spoil it
for you.
But in the first game, he doesn't change who he is.
Yeah.
When he goes into, spoiler alert, obviously, when he goes into jail at the beginning, he comes out at the end of it the same person with the same beliefs and the same value system. So he's a really cool character. Whereas Nishiki, again, starts as a decent guy, maybe a little bit of a wimp.
Well, and like he's going through troubles of his own with his sister in the hospital.
That's true.
So he's got like a lot of stress already, like piled up right off the top of the game. He's like, they're talking about how his sister's in the hospital. She's going in for an operation. It might be the last. Like, but hopefully not, you know?
Yep.
And so you get that instant, like, thing where everything in Cosmo's life is kind of perfect. He's got the beautiful woman, he's got the money, he's gonna get his own family soon.
Stupid Nishiki could have had Reina.
I know, right?
Idiot.
Fucking gorgeous-ass bartender. No. I want a woman that's already taken. Like, what the fuck?
She wasn't a bartender. She owned
the bar,
club.
Yeah.
Not even a bar. A
club.
Very exclusive club where she only had to serve the people that she liked.
Yeah, and ritzies, too. Like, super ritzy.
Like, what the hell, dude?
Had really nice alcohol in there. Yeah, like, I don't know.
Bro, what was your problem? That woman is right there. You idiot.
But no, like, you know, it's just the whole thing of Kiryu's, like, life is going really well. Like, he's got everything basically he could ever want.
Well, he's getting a family, right?
Yep, he's getting his own family.
In the Yakuza
in the Yakuza sense. He's gonna become his own Oyabun, right? Mm-hmm. And become his own head of his own house. And Nishiki wants to be there, but at the same time, he's got all this stress of his sister that's just piled on top of him. And he's got unrequited love for Yumi that, you know, he kind of teases Kiryu about because he gets her, like, a nice necklace or whatever for her birthday. A necklace or bracelet, I can't really remember. I think it's a necklace. And, like, gets her a present, and Kiryu fucking forgets and has to go get a ring.
It's like, oh, shit.
Yeah. But, you know, like, it's this really cool dynamic of these two at first, because that is how kind of guy friends are, though. They compete with each other a little bit. But it's all in kind of good fun. I think in the beginning, Nishiki knows that, you know, Yumi has eyes for Kiryu, and, you know, he's just kind of testing Kiryu a little bit. But after the spoilers, after the incident with Dojima, where he kills him and Kiryu takes the fall, that kind of like snaps something inside Nishiki, where it's like, well, you know, you're not around, I'm with her all the time, and I'm taking care of her, blah, blah, blah. And Nishiki starts seeing Yumi more as a prize than as a person, while Kazuma always sees her as a person. And that was kind of one of the things that definitely is a big dichotomy between those two.
Yeah, they set up Nishiki really well, just in the sense of, like you said, the necklace and that little bit of, like, yeah, it's a friendly rivalry, but it's also not. Like, there's undertones of true, deep envy there with Nishiki, and the more the story goes, the more he just totally lets that take over.
Yeah.
To the point where he becomes a total douche.
Yeah.
So, the whole, like I said, loyalty versus betrayal thing is a big theme. I think envy versus like honor and humility is also another big thing. Nishiki's envy, and then Kiryu, definitely very honorable and very humble for the most part. So again, just mirrors of each other. If you want a good master class in how to have a protagonist and an antagonist that are mirrors of one another, go watch.
Yeah.
Or go play Yakuza.
Go play Yakuza.
Go watch our playthrough.
Yeah, go watch our playthrough.
You can go do that if you're not into sitting there for hours and playing it yourself.
I also say, like, friends to rivals, this game does perfectly in terms of Nishiki and Kazuma.
Yeah.
I think that like their escalation, because Kazuma goes away for 25 years? 25 years,
20
right?
or 25. He's gone for a while.
Yeah, he's gone for a while.
He's in his 20s, and he comes out, I think, in his 40s, because all of a sudden everyone's calling him
old man. Yeah.
It's like, that old man can still wipe the floor with your ass, and does so.
Yeah.
On almost every single occasion.
It's just 10 years. It's just 10 years,
okay,
yeah.
So he comes out in his 30s.
Yeah, it's just 10 years. But he goes in, and when he comes out, like, everything's changed. Not only, the world in general, which he missed the transition of 1999 to 2000, which, if you miss that while you're in prison, it's a massive what the hell.
Yeah, poor guy.
But not only that, but the people around him have changed, like Nishiki. Nishiki is a complete different person from what he remembers him as when he went in. And the great thing about this is that it shows you through cutscenes how Nishiki got to that point. And it's really fascinating. And this kind of comes into the play of honor and dishonor, which is also the dichotomy between Nishiki and Kiryu, where Kiryu is very honorable. He won't hit someone who's not looking at him. Like, that's just not who Kazuma is.
No.
Nishiki, however, he turns into this guy where, and granted, this kind of gets beaten into him throughout the game, that if you want something, you take it. You don't just wait around for something to happen or, an opportunity to come. You make that opportunity come to you. And so through that, he kind of becomes very dishonorable, doing all the dirty tricks in the book to get ahead.
Yeah, no, Nishiki definitely turns into a guy who will do whatever he has to do.
Yeah.
Like, up to and including killing someone he's known for years and who was in love with him, you idiot.
Yeah, and also killing the man who also... trying to kill the man who also, like, raised him.
Yes.
Which is, with Kazuma, was a huge thing as well.
Kazama.
Kazama, not Kazuma.
Kazuma Kiryu is the main character. Kazama. That's like, I'm overemphasizing the difference there, but Kazama is basically the surrogate father.
Yeah. And
for both of them. And the Yakuza family head, is that correct?
He's not, he's the
Dojima. Yeah? Or no. He wasn't Dojima.
He had his own family under Dojima.
That's what it was.
He had, like, his own sub-family. But he eventually takes over not the Dojima family, but he makes his own big family of the Kazuma family.
Mm-hmm.
And after Dojima's death, he kind of climbs the rank because he was kind of his second in command.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also the one that raised Yumi, Kazuma, and Nishiki. And he's a massive part of the game. And it's also just the again, there's another theme of chosen family and biological family.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with Haruka and Mizuki
Mm-hmm.
being, definitely biological family, but Haruka's trying to find her, and has lost her. And then the chosen family of, Nishiki, Kazuma, Yumi, and Haruka as well with Kazuma, the bond that they create is very different. Um, it's super unique how they do all these different relationships. It's like a big when you really look at Yakuza as a whole, it's like a giant spider web of relationships.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have like side stuff like Date with his daughter,
Yeah.
and then you have Kage is his name in the dub, but the florist with his son and the Yakuza head's daughter, and they fall in love, and it's kind of like learning to just let go of that hatred for each other, because I don't see you as the enemy, I see you as the dad of the kid that my kid fell in love with,
Right.
which is a massive thing as well. Like very parental themes going on throughout the entire game.
There are a lot of those.
But yeah, then we have the characters. So we have Kiryu. We've talked about him a little bit.
Yeah, we've already gotten into these guys quite a bit, but just like you said, the way they kind of bounce off of each other. You've got Kiryu, who again is the stoic archetype, but he's not boring.
No.
He, especially in like some of the funnier scenes, it's like sometimes he's super naive and it's hilarious. Like when Majima stages a zombie outbreak, and Kiryu either buys it or is so happy to play along with it that he like almost convinces himself that it's true. I don't know, but no, I don't know, he's stoic, but he's accessible. Like he's not emotionally cut off by any means. So like there's a thing where we here in the West tend to think that if you're stoic, that means you're just like this emotionless strong guy or whatever. Yeah. Like no, Kiryu has some major emotions running through him. He just doesn't outwardly express them a whole lot.
But he does open up to people.
Yeah.
Which, like, he opens up to Date and he opens up to Haruka a lot.
Well, when something horrible does happen, like the horrible thing on the roof.
Yeah.
Like, he has a major emotional reaction, and I think having him be kind of, just emotionally restrained for the rest of the story makes those moments hit harder.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons that he works as a main character as well as he does, and also because his softness with Haruka is really starkly contrasted with, like this stoic, kind of cool-headed guy that runs around and beats up everybody.
Yeah.
But he's also willing to help.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone that he comes across.
Like even in the sub-stories.
Right, that he feels like needs his help or protection or, something, so.
But he also absolutely hates people who take advantage of other people.
Yes.
Like, that's one of his biggest things. If you're trying to scam someone out of money or con someone out of money, he instantly gets pissed off, and
He does. He will hunt you down throughout the streets.
Yeah.
He'll find you and he will beat you up, and he will make you go give the thing back or whatever, So, yeah, he's a great character. If you want to know how to do the stoic lone wolf without falling into the really, I don't know, I keep knocking the West, but I'm sorry, we have some serious work to do.
Yeah.
Like, we have improvements to make, so if you want to know how to do a stoic lone wolf character without it turning into, the standard Western,
gruff, grizzled,
all these gruff, grizzled, brutal, like,
yeah,
I don't have emotions, love is weakness, blah blah blah
yeah.
blah blah. If you don't want to do that, go look at how they write Kiryu in Yakuza, because he's great.
Yeah, he's fantastic, and I will say, as a side, I do love how much that roof scene has stuck with you.
I know that. Oh my gosh, that freaking.
If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, and if you've played the game or you're gonna watch the playthrough, it's a specific rooftop scene where you're fighting a bunch of guys with guns.
You'll know.
And you'll know.
You'll know when it happens.
Yeah, you'll know when it happens. It's one of them, and I'm glad that it affected Jordan the same way, because it still affects me in the same way. Like, I sometimes will just randomly think back to that scene and be like, damn.
Why do you gotta do that to me? Like, no, it is the biggest gut punch of the first game, in my opinion. The one at the end, I kind of saw coming.
Yeah.
That didn't hit me as hard.
Yeah.
But the one in the middle was like,
it's just tragic.
You didn't just do that.
Yeah.
You freaking piece of crap.
Yeah, it's probably the biggest tragic moment in the entire first game.
And it pretty much cements Nishiki's fall, too, I would say.
Yeah.
Like,
it's when you realize that he's too far gone.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, there's no coming back from that.
Right.
And I think it also really hardens Kazuma's resolve to fight against him. Did your dog just fall off the bed?
Yeah, she's stuck in her Murphy, how did you do that? Oh, give me a sec to save my dog here. Whoa, quit! There we go.
You good?
You okay? Are you okay?
She didn't whimper, so.
No, she's okay.
I think she's alright.
Are your leggies okay? Oh, my poor girl. Did you fall off the bed?
I just hear her.
She just, you okay, baby?
She's like, that was scary.
I gotta give her some loves real quick. Give me a second. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You okay? Yeah, shake it off.
That was scary.
Good thing you're a dog.
Come on, back up on it.
Good thing you're a dog. Huh? Yeah. It's a good thing you're a dog. You're nice and hardy.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if I won't go up there anymore.
Good now. Nothing's gonna get your ladies this time. Okay, I'm sorry. Poor baby. Got right on her face. It's like, oh. Good thing it's carpeted down here. If it had been tile, that would have sucked.
Yeah. No, I'm glad it's carpeted down here. No, like I was saying, though, it hardens Kazuma's resolve to fight against him.
Yeah.
Because, before that, you have the entire scene of them in the bar, and it's the first time they actually sit down and talk in 10 years. And, like, Kazuma's still kind of reaching out to Nishiki and trying to, like, be like, you don't have to do this. Like, we can work through this.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. And Nishiki says, no, screw you. And then, like, after that, he shows that with action of definitely screw you.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it really hardens Kazuma to take action against him. And, yeah, Nishiki is... We've talked a lot about him. But he does have a lot of sympathy going for him. But the great thing that Yakuza does is just something similar to what One Piece does, is it doesn't make that sympathy excuse anything that he's doing.
No.
Even with the, like, massive amount of, backstory that we get with him throughout the entire game, you realize that dude probably shouldn't be in the Yakuza because he's way too naive. Because all of his problems that he faces while Kazuma's in jail is literally from his naivete. Like, it's from believing and trusting that people in this job and life won't screw you over. And they end up screwing him over, and they end up turning him into an absolute demon who has no trust in anybody. And can't trust anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Sorry, my brain's kind of...
Oh, you're good.
Trying to shut off on me a little bit.
You're good.
No, I think it's just another... it's another shout out to Japanese storytelling in particular, that they can take you through the antagonist's story, their whole story from, he starts out as a parallel protagonist, shifts into a foil, and then again that rooftop scene really cements him as the tragic antagonist, but without ever being like, oh look how sad is this guy, how pathetic. Don't you just feel sorry? Don't you want him to get a redemption arc, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like you said, it doesn't excuse anything that he does. And I think it's naivety. I think it's envy. I think it's it's just that classic problem of being so focused on what someone else has, and at the same time, life kind of shitting on you a little bit and taking away maybe the one thing that was keeping him grounded in himself, which was his sister.
Yeah.
I realize I'm spoiling it again, but yeah. But at the same time, but then you kind of contrast that with Kiryu, who loses a lot of people but never turns into Nishiki.
Yeah.
So it's, again,
he almost does at the end, a little bit.
He thinks about it.
Yeah, he thinks about it.
He thinks about it, but he does. But it's because he has, if we want to shift into Haruka, he has Haruka.
Yeah.
And she's definitely Kiryu's motivational anchor, but she's also, I think, his heart anchor.
Yes.
Like, even more than Yumi, more than Nishiki is at the beginning, more than anybody else in the entire game. Haruka is the thing that keeps Kiryu from tipping over that line into full-blown monster. Again, that's why it's one of my favorite tropes and favorite character relationships. When it's done right, I've seen it butchered.
I've seen it done so poorly.
Yes.
Mandalorian. But I've seen it done very poorly.
Well, Mandalorian's not great because he already is kind of softer.
Yeah.
They tried. No, it's Disney. I'm not even going to give them that much credit. They thought they tried to make him like some lone wolf badass.
Yeah.
But really, he's soft from the beginning, so it's like, it doesn't really...
He's a Disney main character. Like,
yes, he doesn't...
They can't do hard.
No, they can't do lone wolf...
No.
Lost cub.
Yeah.
And have it work, because they're too...
No, yeah.
They're too soft.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that... And that's, but it's a really powerful story, or, storytelling technique, or what's the other word that I'm looking for?
Storytelling, trope.
Yeah, not trope, though. I'm looking for something else.
Tool?
Yeah, close. That's not what I'm looking for, but close. Close enough. It's another really good way that it's a good way to anchor your main character into something human, and Haruka also makes the story itself anchored in humanity. So it's not just a crime drama. It's not just this borderline Yakuza soap opera playing out. It makes it a very human story. So she's, if you want to look at, like, characters that you could not get rid of, Haruka is one of them. That you cannot replace her, and you can't get rid of her. Like, the story would not be the same story without that kid.
Yeah, no, and as Jordan will soon find out throughout the series, Haruka remains the heart of the entire Yakuza series, at least all the ones with Kazuma in them. She is, like, consistently his main focus. And it's done really well because throughout the games you get to see her grow up and, go into teenage years and then soon into 18 at the last game, which I've never played through before, but I do know that she's like 18, 19 in that one. So she's going into adulthood. And I'm very excited for it. I like I said in the playthrough, I played up to Yakuza 5, and there's a whole section where you actually play as Haruka in that game. And it is one of my favorite parts of the entire game. So I'm very excited for us to get into that. And then, yeah, the last kind of characters we want to touch on. Well, actually, there's one more that I want to touch on, but...
Go and replace those two. We've talked about those two enough.
Yeah, Jingu. Jingu is... A lot of people would see him as kind of a boring villain. I actually quite like Jingu as a villain, because he is literally everything that's wrong with the world. He's the type of person that, like... He's the kind of the boogeyman of the world that you don't want to know.
He's your villain.
Yeah.
He's not the Nishiki, like, you can kind of understand where he's coming from villain.
Mm-hmm.
He's the villain. He is the, my gosh,
he's just kind of the symbol of corruption in all its forms, and just, like, how greed and pride and lust and all of these sins can make a complete monster of a person who doesn't care about personal connections of anyone that he knows. He doesn't care that he has a wife and kid. If it's beneficial to him, he'll kill him. Yeah. He's just that type of guy.
Yeah, it's more of the I'm gonna do what I have to do to get what I want type of deal, and
yeah,
I would agree. Like I said, I think he's just more of your. He's more of your villain in the sense that he's more of a symbol than he is a character.
Yeah.
And more of a message than a character.
Mm-hmm. But that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No. I think when you have it balanced out with someone like Nishiki, who is a very human antagonist, I think it works really well.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't mind Jingu being in there, because he does bring the darkness, like, fully out.
I fucking hate his boss fight, though. His boss fight
was a pain in the ass.
His boss fight
Holy
fucking sucks.
Lord.
I'm surprised I didn't die in his boss fight, to be fair.
I kind of am, too. Like, there was a couple times where I was like, dude, you're...
Get low!
I don't know how you're gonna get out. Like, especially when those dicks got back up. I was like, come on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and I think that's one of my favorite things about the game as well, is that they represent the characters very well throughout the game through their boss fights. Because, like, yeah, Jingu's boss fight is completely unfair, because he as a person is unfair. Yeah. And, like, meanwhile, like, Nishiki actually finally kind of gains some honor and fights you one-on-one, face-to-face, and it kind of completes his character arc at the end. And, like, yeah, you have someone like Shimano who believes that might is right, so how do you fight him? Well, you fight him with a bunch of other guys on top of you, and it's then turns into this giant war at the freaking docks, and, you know, like, I just love that kind of blending of storytelling and gameplay that Yakuza does, and it does it throughout the entire series. And it's fantastic, so... But yeah, no, I really like it. So why does it work when it shouldn't?
Yeah, let's jump to that. I was going to say, like, let's kind of... Yeah. Because we've already talked about those things, so let's...
Yeah, why does it work when it shouldn't?
I mean, like I said, I think that it's... Like, on its face, right, it's another crime drama. But it's a crime drama with a lot of melodrama.
Yeah.
Like, you have the crazy backstabbing. You have the, oh, this person's dead. Oh, no,
they're not. Yeah.
Oh, no, they're dead again.
Oh, it's a body double, you know?
Exactly.
Like,
the only thing you didn't have was, oh, no, it's their evil twin. Like, it's very soap opera-y.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's, like, I don't know. And it's like, and it has, you know, again, it's this absurdist comedy side content where you have this random dude who's drunk who wants you to go buy him booze all the time. You've got Majima being a total weirdo. You
meet this wrestler who takes you out to expensive dinners, and then he wants to fight you in the ring. You have this guy who says that you stepped on his contacts and broke them, and he tries to scam you out of money.
Right. And some dude, like, running up to you, picking a fight because he mistakes you for someone else or whatever.
Yeah. He thinks that you're a Yakuza that's hunting him down.
Right.
And you're like, I have no idea who you are.
Right. But I think that's why it works, though. I think it's all of those things. I think the melodrama is offset by the super serious, especially a lot of the plot cutscenes.
Yeah.
Where it brings it back to reality and it re-grounds it in the story and in Kiryu's personal story specifically.
Mm-hmm.
I think having Haruka there as the heart, as the emotional center, really just gives it, I don't know, it just gives it this, like, cohesion. So it works when it doesn't feel like it should, because it feels like it's all over the place. I mean, really, think about, what it actually, like, think about what it is. It is a Yakuza, Japanese mafia.
Yeah.
Running around, there's this criminal underground, but at the same time, he's like, chasing down guys that steal purses, and he's going bowling, and he goes to karaoke, and he does, he does all of these things, but at the same time, like, underneath all of that, there's also just this very dark, heavy, my childhood friend, or my longtime friend, I don't know if they were childhood friends.
Yeah, they were childhood. Yeah.
My childhood friend, not only did I go to jail for this asshole, but he effed me the second I got out.
Mm-hmm.
The woman that I love is nowhere around.
Yeah, she's gone missing.
Yep.
And is on the run. There's a big conspiracy with 10 billion yen just disappearing from the Yakuza.
Well, and Kiryu's been set up for a lot of that. Like, he has people after him, and he's like, I just got out of jail. What the hell?
Yeah. Like, and the chairman just died.
Yes,
so, like...
and the chairman just died. Like, there's all of this stuff. But I think that's why it works. Like, I think if you look at Japanese storytelling in particular, a lot of it tends to be very maximalist. They do not hold back on what they want to put in there, but they make it work, and I think they tie it to all together because you just love the characters so much. The characters are so strong and so alive and so dynamic that you can put them in this wacky world where crazy shit happens, but then really hard, heavy stuff happens too. And I don't know, it just makes sense.
And I think that's kind of Kamurocho. Like, I think that's also Kamurocho just being the setting.
Yeah. Because
this is one of those games where I can go and play GTA 5. Mm-hmm. And the world feels quote unquote alive. There's cars going around and stuff like that, and there's civilians walking, but it doesn't feel organic. It feels still very artificial. When I'm walking around in Kamurocho as Cosma, it feels like a real place. Mm-hmm. And I think part of that is the fact that it's based off of a real place. It's based off the red light district in Tokyo. But it's also just the fact that you have so many people around you, you get stopped, you can talk to people, they have full-on dialogues with you, and then they also throw in, though, this absolute absurdist shit. Like, these kids want you to play this sexy woman bug game with them that you can go and, like, waste hours on. Mm-hmm. Or there's actually an entire underground system of hobos that are an entire spy network that have a whole pleasure dungeon underneath a park in a sewer, in a broken down sewer way. What? Like, that makes no sense, but it still somehow remains believable and, like, grounded in this really odd way. And so I think it's this perfect blend of absurdist and realism, grounded, but yet completely out there. That just really works so well. And it makes the whole world feel super alive. I think if they went one way or the other too far, it wouldn't have worked as well. It's this perfect balance.
Yeah, I think that's at the core of it, really. I think with games like
GTA.
Thank you. I was like, I can't even remember Grand Theft Auto. Jesus, there it is.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto.
I think... Again, I'm gonna sound like a broken record. Everyone's gonna get tired of me saying this, but here in the West, a lot of our stuff, and I don't know why, and I don't understand why people...
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I just don't understand why this is a thing here, but it is. It's very one note.
Yeah.
Like, our society y'all, some of you need to move past your Neanderthal, base instincts and be like, me want smash, me want steal, me want punch, me like whatever the hell, like, that's all they want to do is action.
Me want smash, we want steal, me want punch,
Tell me
me
I'm
want
wrong.
boom boom,
Yes,
right now.
Tell me, Murphy, go ahead.
You want naked lady.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
Tell me I'm
no,
wrong.
you're not
Like,
wrong.
it's so...
I swear, we're freaking, like, in terms of storytelling, and, like, listen, I know that it sounds like we're sucking Japan off, and we are a little bit, but, like, here's unapologetically, yeah, no, like, I have no shame in doing it, but, like, when you compare it, guys,
there's no comparison.
You have to realize we're like fucking chimpanzees with a typewriter compared to Japanese storytelling. I don't know why.
It's because again, me want boom boom.
Yeah.
We're so our shit is so one note, and there is a huge portion of our population that just eats that shit up.
Yeah.
That, good lord, see, we're gonna get into this more next week with some dumbass thinking that plot is the most important part of a story. No, it isn't.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe here in the United States, tragically, it is. But if you're a storyteller, if you actually love story, which if you don't, and I'm not sure what you're doing listening to this particular podcast, because it's
literally called the Plot Pill Podcast.
Right. Now that we've found our footing, that's all we're about is good storytelling. If you want good storytelling, I'm sorry, the Japanese outpace us every single time in every single area. I can't
50-1.
Yeah, I can't think of one thing that they don't do better. Yakuza works because it's so the emotional spectrum of that game is so broad. Mm-hmm. And it's not just, oh, Kiryu thought this was funny. No, it makes you laugh.
Yeah.
It makes you feel something. And it makes you feel, not just laugh either, it gives you a gut punch. It makes you feel tense, it makes you feel anxious, it makes you feel all these things.
Surprised.
Right.
You're
like, what?
Yeah.
Like, they're very good at instilling emotion, not just instilling, but relying on emotion to carry the story.
Yeah.
And that's why Yakuza works. Even though it seems like it shouldn't.
Yeah.
That's why it works, because it's so emotionally real and sincere that it's just like it just works. It's not, like, do I ever want to watch a freaking show about Grand Theft Auto? Hells no. That sounds like misery. That sounds like what's the show? The freaking one that they've had like 50 movies at this point where they're
Fast
racing.
and the Furious.
Yes, sounds like Fast and the Furious, but 1,000 times worse.
Yeah.
And I hate Fast and the Furious. I think it's a shitty-ass franchise.
Mm-hmm.
It is the epitome of everything wrong
with American culture.
It is American entertainment culture.
American entertainment culture. If you want to see what's wrong with it, just go watch Fast and the Furious and look how many movies there were of Fast and the Furious.
Just quit catering only to the dude bro culture. Like, you can have your freaking Fast and the Furious, but can we please get actual stories with some emotional depth? Because as you're about to see as we shift into our deep dive with Stranger Things, we as Americans in particular have a real problem with emotional depth and emotional resonance, and it turns into a problem in storytelling.
Yeah.
So, I think that's a good segue, right?
Yeah, but go play Yakuza 1.
Yes.
Go play Yakuza Kiwami. If you're a gamer, go play it right now.
Go watch our playthrough.
Yes, go watch our playthrough too. If you're not a gamer, go watch our playthrough. If you're just there for the story, go watch our playthrough.
The first sessions are a little rough. I'm going to keep reminding everyone that I am recovering from critical failure burnout.
I think we've reactivated you, though. You started crapping out there in the middle, but we were talking about Yakuza, but we got reactivated you.
It got my brain going again.
Your blood boiling. We're talking about Western
storytelling.
Well, get ready to boil that blood some more, because we're about to talk about Stranger Things, how it started out so strong, and why the middle fell apart. AKA, why the middle is the hardest part of storytelling. Which I'm probably going to title this Stranger Things, like, analysis. Why is the middle hard? like why? Just as a funny little...
Sorry, I'm a 12-year-old boy.
No, it's intentional, but yeah. But yeah, why is the middle so hard? Like that's kind of the thing we're talking about here. I want to start out by saying season 1 is one of the best horror shows ever. It builds suspense, it builds horror, it builds up characters. It's this very slow burn story of this kid going missing. Where the hell did he go? And it also brings up a lot of mystery too with it. And it's about all these characters that are affected in different ways by this disappearance, eventually going on their own little, like, story paths and unraveling a freaking conspiracy. Each one of them kind of taking a piece of that. And then coming together and culminating.
Yeah.
I love the first season.
No, there's a reason that the first season took off as much as it did. Like, it's... one of our cats.
Yeah.
No, like you said, I think it's so well done that, like, yeah, if we just want to shift right into why season 1 works so well. Yeah. I mean, I think one of the biggest things, it's your classic monster story, which who doesn't love a good monster story? I love good, well-told monster stories. Again, we botch it a lot here in the West, but Stranger Things actually got it really right.
Yeah,
And I think, yeah, you're right, like, it's this tightly focused... Season 1 works because it's so tightly focused, and it's so reminiscent of, like E.T., or if you look at a more modern Spielberg movie, Super 8.
Yes,
like, it's focused on this group of kids, which was the classic 1980s formula for, just knockout films and TV shows.
Yeah.
There's very clear emotional stakes.
Goonies is also
Goonies is another one.
Yeah.
There's a reason these things have staying power, guys, and this is a big part of it. It's a tight plot. It's focused on a small cast of characters. You get to know those characters.
Yeah.
Every single one of those characters has a part to play.
Yep.
They have something that they stand to lose or gain in the story. You kind of have the wild card with 11, where she's like the second half of the mystery coin.
Yeah.
There's a whole mystery.
It's kind of Will and 11 are the two sides. Sort of.
Yeah, they're kind of finding Will and connecting Will with 11 and where she came from. I mean, that's kind of eventually what allows them to overcome the whole thing.
Yeah. That pisses me off in the 4th season, but we'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get there. But yeah, again, like, clear emotional stakes. Will is missing. You have Joyce, who is a desperate mother trying to find her missing child because, what the hell happened to him? He just vanished. You have her thinking that... Well, you have everyone looking at her like she's batshit crazy, because she's like, he's here, I can hear him, and everyone's looking at her like she's nuts.
Yeah.
And everyone thinks Will's dead. But his friends, so like Mike, because of 11, also is with Joyce and believing that he's alive and he's somewhere and they have to be able to get him out.
Yeah.
And I think, you just have like this single through line of, love, loss, friendship, found family, and the terror kind of the unknown.
Yeah.
The upside down.
And the great thing about it is, like, people get roped into it. Like, Jonathan and Nancy get roped into it because Barb goes missing.
Yep.
And so it's like, well, there's a second person that's gone mysteriously missing. No one knows what happened to her. And then that's kind of what spurs Hopper on to be like, okay, something weird is definitely going on here. Because when Joyce first goes to Hopper, Hopper's like, we're looking for him, but we can't find him. I don't know what to tell you past that. But when Barb goes missing, that kind of sets off in a whole new section of this where it's like, what the hell is going on? And then that body gets found in the river, and then that's when the government conspiracy starts coming through. And it all layers and stacks on top of each other, and it culminates until all these characters suddenly come together. But then interspersed with all that, you have this, just many many inner dramas that are happening within each group, like Jonathan having a crush on Nancy, but Nancy's with Steve, and you have that tension. You have Hopper and Joyce having a little bit of a past flame sort of thing.
Well, that and Hopper's tragic backstory.
And Hopper's
kid.
tragic backstory with his kid. And then you have the third story with the kids, and you have the kind of, complications of not only Will's disappearance, but Eleven's appearance in that group. And Dustin's trying to keep it all together while Mike thinks that 11 is the key to getting Will back, and Lucas thinks Mike's fucking crazy, and that, they're gonna get themselves killed if they continue down this route.
Well, and that Will should be their priority.
Yeah, and Will should be their priority, and not focusing on 11.
Yeah.
And, you have all this drama that is happening between these three groups of characters, and it's tight, it works, it's
because everything connects back to that central line.
Yep, where's Will?
Yep, that central through line.
Where's Will Byers? That is the main question.
Yep.
And it works.
Yeah.
It works so well.
Well, and you have the contrast too of the different groups, like you were saying. You have the kids, which they're kind of like the innocent party discovering the darkness of the world.
Yeah.
The teenagers who are kind of again navigating that weird middle spot where they're figuring out who they are, and they're taking a little bit more responsibility for their Nancy definitely takes it upon herself to go looking for Barb. She does not rely on the adults.
Yeah.
And then you have the adults who are working through their own trauma and denials and all this. But yeah, so but again, everything ties back to that one central plot line of Will disappearing and everything around it that happens.
And the reason why it works is that it's very much self-contained.
Yes.
Because there was only meant to be one season. That was it.
Yes.
The Duffer Brothers had a plan of doing where Stranger Things was not going to be focused on, multiple groups. If there was going to be a second season, the Duffer Brothers were going to have it be a completely different group of kids, completely different monster, completely different story, in a completely different place.
Hot take, they should have stuck with that.
They should have stuck with that. But
I think Netflix pressured them.
The problem is that Netflix pressured them. We need a second season with these same characters because they got so wildly popular. But that was the original origin of Stranger Things, was that Duffer Brothers were going to do an anthology series, but with each season being a completely different thing. Sort of like American Horror Story, if you're familiar with that show at all. Each season is a completely different storyline.
Yeah.
They should have done that. They should have done that.
Yep, because season 1 is one mystery, one monster, one core villain, super tight pacing, and there's no narrative meandering, which, as we'll see in a minute, definitely happens.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
So going down to season 2 through 4, this is where the problems start. Now, season 2 isn't that bad. There's some new characters introduced.
Remind everyone, just quick synopsis.
Season 2 is about Will starting to get visions of this thing called the Mind Flayer. And Demodogs, I like to call them Demodogs. They're Demogorgon dogs. Demodogs start coming through multiple portals, and multiple portals to the Upside Down start showing up and corrupting the environment around them. We get a few new characters. Bob, who is the boyfriend of Joyce. Billy, who is a new high school student, and his younger adopted stepsister, not adopted, younger stepsister, Max, who is in Mike and them's age.
Yeah, she gets integrated into that initial core group.
Yeah, and that's kind of the plot, kind of blurb for season 2.
Yeah, I'm trying to actually remember though what is the
main thing? Because
the mystery.
The mystery is how do all these tunnels relate? Because they thought they closed the last one. How are they popping up? Mm-hmm. And what is causing them to pop up? And so remember, they make the whole map out of all the different pieces of paper because Will's drawing the map to the upside down tunnel work.
That's right.
That the Demodogs are the ones opening it.
You can already see where the problems are because it's a much.
Well, they try to do the same thing as season 1, but lesser.
I don't even know if they try to do the same thing. They just try to expand it, but they don't do it in you can already tell it's not as tight because.
Oh, and Hopper has 11 and is hiding her out in his cabin.
That's right. Yeah. But yeah, you can already tell where it's it's not.
It just becomes way unfocused.
It's just a mess.
Even in it becomes so unfocused.
It's a mess.
Because you have so many other stupid things that are happening. You have all of a sudden Billy comes in and starts wrecking shit with Steve, and so that you have that plot line. Okay, we got a Steve and Billy rivalry thing. Mm-hmm. Mike's depressed about 11 and wants to find her, and Lucas thinks that's stupid. And now Max comes in and is starting to mess with their dynamic again. And
yeah, because it's Lucas.
Mike doesn't
Dustin.
Mike doesn't like Max because he's butthurt about 11 being missing.
Yeah,
Dustin
or dead as far as he knows.
Dustin adopts a freaking tadpole from the upside down.
That's right.
Okay, and it turns into a demodog and eats his cat. Okay,
that's the worst part of the
whole and then it's somehow, this is so stupid. Oh my god! The more I think about this season, the more it pisses me off because then that demodog so happens to have an actual connection with Dustin, and it spares him at the end of the season. Fuck off. And then
well, that completely negates everything that you know about the Demogorgons and the Demodogs.
Yeah.
Later in the series, so that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah. And then you have Jonathan and Nancy doing, I think, internships at the local newspaper, I believe is what's going on there. Yeah. Because they're also trying to Steve and Nancy are also trying to make sure that they're going to dinner with Barb's parents to make sure that they're okay and trying to find her even though they know she's dead because they found her at the end of season 1.
Yeah. And Nancy flips her shit in a party and tells Steve that I can't even remember. She tells him off about something stupid and it hurts him, and so they break up, and then she falls into it with Jonathan. They meet the reporter guy. Yeah. Oh my god, who I hate. In the middle of all of this, Hopper's trying to keep 11 from
secret
going out.
And then Joyce has Bob, and Jonathan doesn't like Bob.
Well, he's okay. He's just he's emotionally ambivalent. I think, where it's he doesn't really know how to feel about it. Yeah. But Bob is pretty good with them. He's good with Will.
Yeah. And then on top of all of this, you have Will getting freaking stuff from the Mind Flayer. Yes. And you have 11 running off to Chicago to have the worst episode in the entire series that even the Duffer Brothers ignore because they know it was stupid. It is
the worst.
It is the worst part of the entire show.
I hate that part.
And the problem is, it gets worse from here because season 3 and 4 are even more worse. But we'll stay on season 2.
When 11 goes to Chicago, that's a whole other freaking ass story.
Yeah.
That you don't ever really get a resolution for, not really, and didn't need to be
She meets 8.
Yeah, she meets the other numbers.
Yeah, or just one.
I guess,
just
one other number.
Just 8. Who can, create illusions, which is really cool. That's a really cool freaking power, and but it's wasted. It's wasted on this character and on this concept.
It's not even that it's wasted, it's that it shouldn't have been
there. No.
We didn't
need... Well, no, because here's the thing.
Numbers.
What I'm pretty sure happened is that Netflix said that the Duffer Brothers needed to make that because they wanted to make a spin-off of those characters.
Those characters sucked.
And those characters sucked. Yeah. I get what they were trying to go for. They were trying to go for that, like, I don't know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles feel of, like, a bunch of ragtag group of outcasts, street
Except
thugs.
they're little criminals.
Yeah.
Heroes.
That could work, though. That could work. But, like, it didn't.
It could, but it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't. Trying to do the whole rebel thing in the 80s, right? That was the whole point. The punk rock stuff. Yeah. Which, but it doesn't work because it's poorly written and it's poorly implemented into the show. Mm-hmm. And we didn't need it. So, like, it's just bad. Season 2 is just bad.
And then you get into season 3.
Yeah, so we get into season 3, and now we have Max and 11 getting along and having fun, and then you go on to the Mike and Lucas. Lucas now dating Max, and Mike is dating 11, and Dustin's dating nobody. And he's got that girl in Utah that nobody believes is actually real.
Yeah.
And then you have Will, who's completely by himself because he's gay, and Mike. By the way, this part is awful, and it solidified Mike as my least favorite character in the entire show. Where he's like, "Well, it's not our fault you don't like girls, dude. Fuck off." First of all, yeah, that's your friend of like multiple years. Don't be a dick just because you have a girlfriend all of a sudden. No, season 3, if season 2 destroys the plot, season 3 destroys the characters down to it grounds them into a paste. Except for Dustin and Steve, who are like the shining golden boys of fucking Stranger Things, who the writers somehow get. I don't know how, the writers just seem to get Dustin and Steve and understand them, because you get a new character, Robin, who is actually a very welcome addition. I love Robin. Mm-hmm. I think she's one of the best characters that Stranger Things has introduced, along with Max.
I like Erica too. Erica cracks me up.
Erica's great, yeah. But then you have this whole Russian spy fucking thing in season 3 that makes no goddamn sense because they built a mall to be a front for the Russian spies? Yeah. What? What? And then, of course, you have to have more Murray shit, who is my least favorite character in the entire series. I hate Murray. He should have died in season 2 and everyone would have been happy. But no, we have to stick with this balding, pain in the ass, annoying character that's not funny. If you even remember Murray, he's the conspiracy theory guy. It's just, I hate season 3. I hate it. Down to my core. I hate season 3.
I hate season 4.
Yeah, season 4.
I hate season 4. I'm not huge on from storytelling perspective, seasons 2 and 3. Again, obviously, big, gigantic ass mess. Because again, I can't, the first season, going back to it, you can explain it so well in a couple of sentences. Will goes missing, and surrounding that, all this weird shit is happening. Yeah. You can summarize it pretty well. Mm-hmm. Seasons 2, 3, and 4, you can't do that, and that's a failure of the writing. Yeah. They try to get bigger, but they don't stay focused. Yeah. They don't give it one solid through line that's really easy to articulate. But they also don't go any deeper. You have bigger monsters, you get, you move from the Demogorgon to, there are several Demodogs that will turn into Demogorgons, and then you move from that to the Mind Flayer. Yeah. And on, underneath that you have, we're up against the United States government. Now we're up against the Russians. Yeah. And then, we're up against, a god. Yeah, in season 4, we're basically up against a god that created the upside down. Yeah, he created the whole thing,
which I hate.
Don't even get me started on that bullshit.
It would have been so much better if he made a pact with the Mind Flayer and they were working together. It would have been so much better.
But no, he is the Mind Flayer. But anyway,
I hate it. Yeah.
But they up the stakes. Sort of. So you go from trying to just save Will to trying to save Hawkins to basically trying to save the whole world because Vecna's just...
Or trying to save America because
trying to save America.
It's from Russia.
Well, season 4, though, is trying to save the world from Vecna.
Vecna, yeah.
Period. But you don't, in fact, I wouldn't say the emotional stakes plateau. I would say that they digress.
Yeah.
They get worse than they are in the first one. The first one has extremely clear and compelling emotional stakes. Will these kids find their friend? Mm-hmm. Will this mom find her son? Will this brother find his brother?
Yeah.
Will, are they going to be able to get him back alive or are they not?
It's a race against the clock. Like, how long does he have to survive in there before they find him, or is he going to end up dead?
And can they fight the monsters off enough, or the monster or the one Demogorgon off enough to get Will back? That is the whole question of the whole first season. Yeah. And then, the second, third, and fourth is just,
so many questions that it...
Will they be able to outsmart the Russians? Will they be able to close up the portals? Will they be able to, I don't know, with the Mind Flayer... figure out the Mind Flayer. Will they be able to defeat the Mind Flayer?
Will Hopper get out of the Russian prison? Will Max be able to get out of Vecna's clutches? Will Mike, fucking Will, and 11 get to freaking Hawkins in time? Then
in the middle of that, though, will 11 be able to get away again from the government people? Is she going to be able to get there on time? Is she going to be able to harness her powers? Which I don't know why in season 4 she hasn't harnessed her freaking powers yet.
Yeah. But because the whole excuse is that her screaming and yelling and holding her hand out to the villain for the third time in the third season. Because that's how every season ends. Yeah, but her doing that for the third time, for some reason, that drained all of her powers and made them go away.
Yeah.
When she had to defeat the big meat monster at the end of season 3.
That's right. Yeah, that's what it was. I guess they were waking them back up.
Yeah.
But, how boring is that? She already had to get control of her powers in the first season.
Yeah.
And now she has to do it
all over again? Why?
Yeah.
Well, and then she just gets it in season 4 and beats Vecna back.
Right. Well, eventually. That's when she goes to this stupid... You have that whole subplot where she gets taken by the government and put back with the doctor guy. Oh, and they go through all the experiments again. Yeah. And all this bullshit. And it's so freaking boring.
Then you have to add this completely pointless fucking thing with this jock who oh my god, I cannot...
Oh, in season 4?
I cannot even begin to tell you how... I don't even remember his name, which is a shame because the actor is really good. Mm-hmm. And they paint him as this absolute devil of a man who just wants to goes fucking psycho. And it's when you actually take a step back and look at his point of view, that guy did nothing wrong, and he did not deserve to die and be forgotten about in an attic.
No, they were painting him as the crazy fundamentalist Christian psycho that thinks D&D is the devil and thinks that Eddie was channeling the devil and all this crap. And
but he's seen shit.
Well, again, from what he knows of the world and what he has seen, what else exactly is he supposed to think? What would would most people's logical conclusion be at that point? It's maybe Eddie's not actually channeling the devil, but he did something horrible.
Could be a killer.
Right.
Yeah.
That girl got killed in his trailer. He was the last one he was there when it happened.
Yeah.
And he's kind of an outcast, and he doesn't care about not being an outcast. Really. Yeah. That guy should have been handled with way more depth.
Care. Yeah.
Way more depth.
Don't just split them in two in the most graphic way.
Well,
in
the
attic.
Just such a cheap way to put in some tension, and it was such a cop out. It has.
And then it always brings up the question: well, where are his parents? What did it
Right.
That's fucked up. They lost their son. Right. Oh no, we can only be sad about Eddie. What? But what about him? He had a family.
Well,
I'm sure, and like he was popular, people liked him.
From a storytelling perspective, this just goes back to the fundamental problem, which is that they made everything bigger, but their emotional core dried up. Like they didn't have one anymore.
No, it became action show.
Yes, like if you quickly, briefly, because I don't want to get into God, sorry, into the weeds on this, but if you contrast this show with Cobra Kai, if you have not watched Cobra Kai, what are you doing with your life? Go watch Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai.
It is freaking amazing.
It's one of the best Netflix shows ever made.
That show. It's made with so much heart.
So much love.
And it shows you how to make how you write a story, and you can expand it. You can make things bigger as long as you're also going deeper. Like, the emotional stakes for the characters get upped every single season, but it's never the same thing repeated over and over again. Yeah. Like, for Miguel, it's about, the first season for sure is about...
confidence.
Self-confidence and being able to defend himself and feeling good about himself. And then, from there, you go into things like, he falls in love with Sam. He has this father-son relationship with Johnny that is kind of ill-defined, and that gets to him eventually. You have his rivalry with Robbie that turns into a very close friendship, into eventually, even like family. And every single season, like, things are at risk for the characters that were not at risk, or at least not at risk in the same way. Yeah. Whereas Stranger Things just does not keep that emotional resonance through its show. It just turns into, ooh, monster movie, ooh, bad guys. Can they defeat them or not? And it just becomes so just emotionally vacant.
Well, and the thing with Cobra Kai too is like it handles each of the relationships between the characters and the dynamics between them with such care, because rivalries turn into friendships turn into rivalries, people get betrayed, it gets a little soap opera-y, but it always pulls it back to like being not melodramatic. It's that is how teenagers would react in those types of situations, right?
Well, it's like it handles it the same way Yakuza kind of does. Yeah. Like, can it get a little soap opera-y and melodramatic? Sure, but the emotional core is still intact, and that's why it works.
Yeah, and like every character, one of the reasons why I love Cobra Kai is that every character that's like, relevant. There are background characters in Cobra Kai, but they remain background characters. Yes. They remain... These guys aren't these aren't like the strong heavy hitters, and that's kind of how they differentiate them. Like, it's who's better technique, right? Those are the people that get focused on, because of course they would, because they're the ones that are going to be winning championships and stuff. So like, those are of course going to be your main A-team of characters, and it focuses on them. It gives them the necessary time and development that they need. And it introduces new characters, but it gives them reason to be there.
It gives them reason to be there, and it never strays, though, from its main characters. Yes. From its core. Like, Johnny, Danny, Miguel... Robbie.
Sam. And eventually, I almost called her Peyton List. Tori, yeah.
Yeah, those are, like...
your main
especially
six.
Johnny, Miguel, Robbie, Danny.
Yeah.
Those are your four, like, really, really hard, like, core. And then Sam and Tori are almost deuteragonists, but, like, and then they're kind of, they straddle that line between protagonists and deuteragonists, but they're still super important.
And then you almost have tetragonists with Hawk and Dimitri and Peyton. Oh, no, not Peyton. What is... Spencer? No, tall girl. I forget what her name is. Devin. I was like, I know she has like a kind of a guy's name. I couldn't remember. Yeah. And then the black kid. Kenny. Yeah, you get like tetragonists with them. Yeah, which is super cool.
No, it is cool, and it works because you have these tiers of characters where you have the main characters that go through multiple. I mean, they go through one kind of, or maybe even a couple major arcs, but within those arcs there are mini arcs, and then you have the like you're saying, like however you said that, where the true Duragonists, the third,
Trituragonists,
because the Deuteragonists are also like they move Tori and Sam around a little bit between Deuteragonists and protagonists, but they also have arcs with mini arcs. Mm-hmm. And then you have that kind of third tier where Hawk and everyone is, where even they have multiple arcs. Yeah. They're a little bit more, to the side
and they're not as complex.
No, they're not as complex.
Though I would argue Eli's is actually probably one of my favorites.
Hawk's is probably the most complex one of that tier of characters.
Yeah.
But you have, and then you even have like Kreese that he has one basically like primary character arc.
But it's really good.
It's a really good one, and he's got mini arcs in there. Mm-hmm. Like he has these little, points that he hits where it's a turning point for him, and his arc kind of shifts a little.
Yeah.
And then Johnny and Danny are the most complex characters.
Yes.
And Miguel and Robbie.
Yeah.
Again, that's why I say like they're just a little above Tori and Sam.
Yes.
Just a little, not
just a little. Lot. Yeah.
But they never stop having arcs. Mm-hmm. There's never a time where something is not at stake for all of them.
Yeah.
And then, but it's great because it expands so much. I mean, you go to the freaking World Championship,
and you get a whole bunch of new characters from that.
Yeah, you get a ton of new characters.
Yeah.
And again, a couple of them get arcs.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, they're just there to be antagonists, and that's fine at this point, because you don't need these people to have arcs.
No.
But, like, at the very end, though, Cobra Kai is so brilliant because it expands so much, but at the very end, it shoots right back down to that original thing, which is Johnny kind of redeeming himself in his own eyes.
Yep.
And coming full circle by leading Cobra Kai to victory.
Yes.
Like, it comes right back to that, and it's brilliant, and it's so
good. Go watch Cobra Kai. It's so good. And so like I feel like that's what they do better than Stranger Things, because and one of the things that Cobra Kai does better than Stranger Things, in my opinion, is that it lets just moments breathe.
Yes.
It just lets moments breathe. And the thing that the way that it does that is that, in between all the chaos and the training and stuff, you just have characters sit down and talk to each other and get to know each other better. And, we don't have a stupid fucking moment in the back of a car where, "You're the heart, Mike. You're the heart." We don't have that stupid shit back there. Like, we have actual characters who feel like real people, like, legitimately moving through this world and learning more about each other and learning from each other. That's one of the biggest things about Cobra Kai, and we never get that in Stranger Things.
No, Cobra Kai, if you guys want to see how to handle a large ensemble cast really, really well, go watch Cobra Kai, because they are brilliant at it. Stranger Things is not good at it.
No.
The more characters they bring in, the messier it gets, and the more the main core characters get lost.
Yeah.
Mike has no point.
Yeah.
Seasons 2 through 4, the boy has, especially 3 and 4, though. No, there's no reason for him to be there.
Yeah, Mike has no reason to exist past, in my opinion, season 1.
No, same. I agree.
Like, season 2, he has a little bit of relevance because he's looking for 11 and he believes that she's still out there.
Mm-hmm.
After 11 is confirmed to be alive and well, he loses all relevance. He's not the leader, because that leader kind of goes straight towards Lucas at a certain point, and actually technically 11. And he's not the heart, like fucking Will says. You know who's the heart? Dustin. Because he's literally kept everyone together throughout everything. Yes. That's why I say Dustin and Steve are the two best characters in the entire show, despite the fact that Steve doesn't get an arc. God rest his soul. But, he doesn't get an arc, besides the fact that he wins a fight once.
Right. But then Will's the conduit. He's the connection to the supernatural, along with 11. But he's in a different way, because 11 can't see inside Vecna's head. Will can.
Yeah.
So they don't have points. But Mike and Jonathan, in particular, absolutely no point to those characters past season 1.
If any character were to die, it should be Jonathan first.
Yeah, because
and then Mike.
Because Jonathan's completely redundant with Nancy.
Jonathan's even more irrelevant than Mike.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know how you managed to do that to a character. I don't know how you managed to make a character that was actually kind of, you know, endearing in the first season into such a empty paper bag as he is in the fourth season. Holy shit. I'm sorry to the guy who has to play Jonathan. I don't know how you can act. Like, as an actor myself, I don't know how you can act with that material.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, dude, you're giving me nothing. What is Jonathan supposed to feel in this moment?
Right.
So you just, like, the writers literally had no idea what to do with him. Let's just make him a stoner, because that's funny. Okay. Or, you know, you could make him fucking die and at least give his character some relevance. Give Will something to be, like, fighting against, you know?
Yes.
And that's one of the biggest things with these later seasons is that they do not kill characters.
No.
Despite how freaking large... Like, at least...
The Eddies and the Bills, is that his name? The Eddies and the Bills do not count as killing characters.
Yeah,
Bob.
Eddie, Bob, Barb, and fucking Anton is the Russian dude that gets shot in the carnival, who was like also a kind of endearing character.
That's right, yeah.
Right? I think it was Anton or Sergey or something like that. But like, yeah, he gets shot and killed. But like, they show up and then they die.
Yep.
And that's it. That's like, I would not be surprised, like, because Argyle made it at the end of season 4. That means he's here to stay, because they're not going to kill him now, because he's lasted more than 2 seasons. So if he's lasted more than a season, he's staying. Yep. That's almost how it is. And it's ridiculous.
I would say Barb counts because she's the thing that kicks off Nancy's whole story. But Bob, Eddie, and the poor Russian guy.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Alexei,
that's his name.
Alexei.
Yeah, they don't count. Like, you can't... Stranger Things has just gotten into this weird place where they're like, oh, we gotta up the stakes, and so therefore we need someone who can die. What character can we create specifically to die? They've fallen into the red shirt problem.
Yeah.
Which is just, you have characters in there specifically to get killed.
Yeah.
And that's the only purpose they serve.
Yeah. And so we kind of want to talk about why middles are hard to write.
Yeah.
They are the meat of your story. And I think that is the thing that a lot of writers, when they get into it, they either get impatient with the middle, or they simply don't know what to do with the middle. They have I feel like writers usually get a really clear idea of beginning and end, and then the middle is like,
It's because the beginning and end is it's straightforward. The start is the discovery. You're introducing the story. It's the mystery, the stakes, the theme. You know, whatever your story is going to be, that's where it's the intro to it.
Yeah.
It's the lead in.
Yeah.
And then the end is the resolution, which can be hard to nail, but it's not hard to write. And I'll explain that, and it's because the middle is so freaking difficult. The middle is your setup. If you're not doing your setup right, your ending isn't gonna land.
Yeah.
But the middle is just so it's big, and you risk it getting really messy if you're not super aware and super intentional about what you're doing.
And if you're not adding interesting things in that middle. Like, there has to be some interesting arcs that are going on in that middle that can begin and end in that middle.
Well, that's where your subplots come in.
Yeah. Your
subplots come in the middle. But your subplots shouldn't detract from the main story, which is what ends up happening in Stranger Things.
Yes.
And it shouldn't... They should always tie back into that central through line.
Yes.
Which, again, like, Stranger Things... does this thing where they think they have a central through line, but then they abandon it for episodes at a time to focus on something else.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, that's not your through line then. At best, you have bookends.
Yeah.
Like, you have something that bookends the season, but it's not a through line because there's not stuff in there.
Yeah. Like, it's very clear that they're writing it season to season.
Yes.
Like,
They had no plan. It's very clear that it was not meant to go past season 1 because season 1 was so well done, and then the rest of them are like, oh crap, well, what do we do?
If you wanted to have this go on for 5 seasons, I think I honestly believe they didn't have an ending planned whatsoever of how they wanted to end it.
If it was just supposed to be season 1, they had the ending they wanted. 11 disappears.
Maybe she's around.
But Hopper brings her waffles, so you're like, oh, she's out there somewhere. She's either in the Upside Down and she can get the waffles from there.
Mm-hmm. And then you get the classic horror ending with Will in the bathroom realizing, I'm still connected.
Right.
And then you leave it off on there because that's how horror things are supposed to end. It's supposed to end on like a stinger, right?
Right.
It's like, shit, you know?
Not everything's good.
Good, yeah. Not everything's good at the end of a horror film. Like, that's how it is. And so, like, I feel like with middles, right? Like, it's just this... It's the main body of your story, right? Think of your story as a big, giant snake. And if you just had the, just the head and the rattle at the end, it'd look weird. So you have to make that, longer to make it more cohesive. Mm-hmm. And this is where kind of like One Piece does it really well. Everything ties back into getting to the One Piece. And Oda does it. He kind of has a little bit of a cheat where he's like, each island is just a stepping stone to that One Piece. So this is just a stepping stone to that next bit. Mm-hmm. And so he kind of cheated a little bit. But he still has that main through line of, friendship and togetherness and, found family. And, that's what One Piece is all about. It's all about heart and freedom and everything. And that's what every arc is about. And so, what is, the theme of Stranger Things? I can't tell you what it is. Not really.
No, because they didn't do one of the fundamental things you have to do in the middle. Which is you have to deepen and reinforce your themes without repeating beats ad nauseum.
Yes.
Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah. You have to reinforce those themes, and you have to put your characters through trials and tribulations in that middle.
Yes.
You can't just have them win every single time in that middle. Otherwise, it's like, well, then why isn't this the end? Every time they win.
Right.
Why?
And they can only win so many times before it's just like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Even going back to, Cobra Kai, we have a lot of different things in the middle. Miguel running off to go find his dad. Mm-hmm. You have the whole Kenny situation with Sam's brother, Anthony, bullying this kid, Kenny. Mm-hmm. And, you have that whole through line. And, the main theme about Cobra Kai, honestly, not the emotional theme, but the main, plot theme is bullying. That is one of the main themes that it really, harks on, mm-hmm. And focuses on, because it's something that almost everyone goes through in those formative teenage years. And it's all about growing up, is also what Cobra Kai is all about. It's all about maturing and figuring out who you are as a person and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And so, Miguel's whole arc about going off to find his father, it ties back into that theme of, who are you? Right? Mm-hmm. Who am I? I'm trying to discover myself. Same thing with, Robbie running away, which he also does at one point.
Well, he's running because he's going to go to jail.
Yeah, he's running because he's going to go to jail. And, but he's still also on this journey to self-discovery. And so, they didn't really pick a theme. The theme could have been mystery. What is the Upside Down? And each season gives you a piece of that. But the problem is, they answer it in the second season, okay? Well, then what's the Mind Flayer? Well, they answer that in the fourth season, okay? So what are we doing here?
Right.
Where's the mystery? If you would have kept Vecna's, identity secret or something, that would have been, something, but even that would have not worked. Mm-hmm. And so, when I'm thinking about how to fix the middle of Stranger Things, here's how I would have done it. I would have, if you wanted to keep the same characters, fine. That's okay. You can do that. Mm-hmm. However, I would make those characters from season 1 side characters or even minor characters, and I would focus on a completely different group of kids in Hawkins who experience something completely different with the Upside Down.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to deal with a completely different monster who can do completely different things. That intrigues the mystery and builds upon the mystery of this thing. And, like, you can have references to Will going missing, and these kids suddenly realize that it's connected. And, like, you could have had so much more, almost a Monster of the Week type formula, with each season being a completely different monster, completely different group of kids, but, like, you get, like, those kids still come back in, like, very minor ways. Like, oh, they say hi to him at school, or, you know, something like that. And then at the end, for the final season, you could have all those characters come together that you've met and learned learned to love throughout each of these seasons, come together, and they finally face the big evil of the Upside Down. I think that would have worked way better. I think that would have been much more cohesive. It would have been unique because you're focusing on different characters but set in the same setting as the first season. I think it would have just been better. And, like, I feel like it would have kept building that mystery of the Upside Down. And then the final season is where you give all the answers, but not all of them. Because you don't want to lose the complete mystique of your crazy horror-filled dimension. That's not how horror works. You don't want to do that. So, in my opinion, that's how you fix the middle of Stranger Things. How would you? What would you say?
God, I'd have to think about it. I like continuous storylines better than I like episodic ones, so I probably wouldn't go with that. I can see how that would definitely work, though. Honestly, just simplify. Like, keep focus on your main core characters. Except again, like, they had such complete arcs in season 1.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know where you take them from there.
Yeah.
Like, it would almost have to shift focus to either someone with, like, characters with more long-term potential. So, you know,
almost treating season 1 as like a prologue.
Yeah. So, like, they're
which would be
still,
crazy.
Right, they're still there, but you maybe shift focus. I don't know. I would have to think about it. But, like, in general, simplify. Keep your characters front and center in terms of writing decisions. Like, give them arcs that they need to go through. You know, like, I'm trying to think, like, the end of season 1, where would I have gone from there? If I was gonna go somewhere from there, where would it have been? I liked, honestly, that you didn't know what happened to 11. I think I would have just
kept her out,
honestly.
Yeah.
And it's a weird thing to say because she kind of do hinge on it, but I think I would have kept her out, and I would have gone back to the original core characters and something else with the Upside Down, but oh no, now they have to deal with it without this girl with powers. You know, are they going to be able to do that? Like, what are they going to do? And maybe explore that a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have your magic get out of jail free card, what do you do at that point?
Yeah.
And then it's just kind of, you know, your normal human story. And maybe, you know, and maybe, yeah, looking for Elle is, like, maybe halfway through that season, they find out that she is out there somewhere and she can communicate with them a little bit, like Will could.
Yeah.
But maybe she's in, like, not even in the Upside Down, like, maybe stuck in the middle, maybe stuck in that dark place that she has to go into when she goes into sensory deprivation. Like, maybe she's stuck in there.
Yeah, maybe.
That could have been interesting.
That would have been interesting.
Like, so she's not fully in the Upside Down, but she's not fully in our world either, and they have to figure out, okay, well, how the hell do you get her out? And because Will has also been to both places, maybe he's the one she's communicating with.
Yeah.
And you would, again, you would have to find you would have to find a purpose for the rest of the characters. Either that or let them be part of, the stakes being raised by dying. But I think I would have kept all of the extraneous characters out. I would not have brought in Sean Astin to die. I wouldn't have expanded into, Murray. I think keeping you can have a multi-thread plot. In fact, multi-thread plots are fantastic. I love them. But everything still has to tie back and merge. And, it kind of does in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's messy. And I think it's messy because they bring in too many characters and they bring in too many plot elements that just don't need to be in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have stuck with, again, one monster, and maybe it's not the Demogorgon. Maybe you shift to the Mind Flayer a little quicker, a little earlier.
Yeah.
And then I agree with what you said way back an hour ago, and it's what we were both hoping, which was that Vecna and the Mind Flayer are two different things.
Yes.
And there's actually, what I was hoping, right, was that there was a power struggle going on between the Mind Flayer and Vecna.
Yeah.
They were two separate things. The Mind Flayer belonged in the Upside Down. That was its home. Vecna did not.
Yeah, Vecna's an invader.
Yes, he went crashing in there. He took over. And there was an actual, maybe Vecna was able to control the Mind Flayer for a short period of time, but the Mind Flayer is slowly breaking out, and it's, pissed.
Yeah.
And it just wants to destroy him and everything like him.
Mm-hmm.
But that gives you kind of a cool opportunity for Unlikely Ally, where maybe Will has to communicate with the Mind Flayer and be like, hey, we don't want to come there.
Yeah.
We just want to get rid of this guy and shut off access. We don't want to be there. So, we basically want the same thing. We want him gone. We want the portals closed.
Yeah.
And you end up having to team up with the Mind Flayer or whatever.
Yeah, no, that would be cool.
It wouldn't even have to be the Mind Flayer. It could have been a different,
entity.
Yeah, different entity.
Yeah.
But I think that could have been cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that would have been cool.
Just keep your emotional core intact.
Yeah.
Don't try to be so cute with plot twists and complex plots and mysteries. I have news for you. That's not usually why people actually get attached to a show, as can be seen in season 1 of Stranger Things, because it's not a complex plot.
No.
It's a really cool monster story, and that's all anyone was really looking for from the other seasons, and instead it shifts so far from that. And I think this is another big part of its problem, is that the unknown element that works so well, the fear of the unknown that works so well in season 1, gets completely obliterated in seasons 2 through 4, because now you know exactly what the Upside Down is.
Yeah.
You know where it came from. You know how it got there. It's all based in these stupid scientific experiments they were doing on Eleven and Vecna and all the other kids. And they've taken it from being something that's unknown and mysterious and creepy and scary and horror-y to super grounded, almost Jason Bourne-esque, oh no, government experiments, which I know was always part of the 1980s stuff, but you didn't have to go so far that you unraveled the horror part of your horror story.
Yeah.
You completely unraveled it.
Yeah. So, because of this, I don't think season 5 is going to be very cohesive of a story.
I don't think it's going to be very satisfying, because I don't have any emotional really stake in this anymore. As long as Steve and Dustin come out the other side, I'm happy.
Yeah, I think it's far too little, far too late for them to return to a tight, a tight emotional core. I think that's dead and gone. And maybe we'll finally get an arc from season 1. I don't know. Possibly. That's the only, like I said, that's the only thing that intrigues me about the season 5 trailer. Everything else looks like the same old Stranger Things schlock. I don't think Mike will have it a point again. I honestly don't think that's gonna happen. Will 11 evolve internally?
Not just power-wise?
Fat chance, but, there's maybe a chance.
Judging from the trailer, I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, no. And then, will they resist the bigger monster instinct? I'm fully expecting a kaiju to come down on Hawkins and them to go full on like Godzilla with it or
bigger
something.
Monster too. It also applies to the fact that there are Demogorgons everywhere now. It's not just one; it's hundreds of them.
Yeah.
So no, judging from the trailer, no, they've already failed that. And then Mike, they're trying to brand him as the leader again, which it doesn't work because it hasn't been an arc for him.
No.
I'm sorry, that's not his arc. That's not how arcs
What happened to him being the heart?
But that's not how arcs work.
Just change your mind about that?
You can't get to the end, realize that your character, oops, he had no development. Okay, here, we're going to shoehorn this in. It's like, but that doesn't work because it hasn't been a thing for him.
Yeah.
Leadership and making decisions and taking charge and being the person that everyone looks to has never been a thing for Mike. Not even in season 1.
No.
He just went off kind of on his own and kept Elle secret and wanted to help her on his own.
When did he formulate a plan?
Right, well, when was him being the campaign leader or whatever ever a part of his actual character development?
Yeah.
It wasn't.
No, it never was.
Sorry,
his development always revolved around Elle. All the time. Yes. And so he became a very codependent character. And Elle almost fell into that trap as well towards him. But somehow managed to squirm her way out. And
because she's the magical get out of jail free card.
Yeah. She's the Deus Ex Machina.
Yes.
Of the entire thing.
Yes.
And so, I don't have any hopes for season 5 to be good. I'll watch it because it's closure, I guess. And, it'll be done. But past that, it's I don't really care.
Hold up, because the whole point of this, it's the whole point of us going into Stranger Things is that if you're going to take away one thing, it's that stories need to expand internally.
Yes.
Before externally, if they even have to expand externally. Go watch Steins Gate.
Yes.
It hardly expands externally.
Yeah, it stays in the same neighborhood.
Same neighborhood.
Except for the last episode.
Right, same core cast of characters. It expands a little bit, but it grows inwards. It's mostly internal stuff. So if you want one really, really, concrete thing that you would have to fix in the middle for Stranger Things to work, it's Elle's arc. And that does not mean that she goes out to Chicago and finds other people. That doesn't mean that she just gets power-ups. That doesn't mean that she goes back into this stupid science or government black base or whatever and gets reconnected with her powers. No, her arc should have been about, I have these powers, they were not something I ever asked for, I don't know how to control them, to the very, very end of her arc should be something along the lines of her taking complete and total ownership of those powers.
Yeah.
Her being, this is mine. I'm, you don't get to tell me how to use it anymore. You don't get to tell me who I am anymore. And, embracing that in herself. And then she gets to go out and kill the big bad.
Yeah.
But, that's not what happens. She gets...
No.
God, what, season 1 is... Actually, really, 11 doesn't get much of an arc in season 1, except for basically becoming human. Instead of this experiment, this subject that she's been, the study subject. Season 2 is a friggin' mess.
Yeah.
She's kind of learning how to be a teenager, but in the middle of all that, for reasons known only to the Duffer Brothers and God, she runs off to Chicago and finds a pseudo sister and becomes a thug, and they're trying to get her to go kill these government guys because you deserve revenge. But she chooses not to have revenge because apparently that was a question that the story was posing. And then season 3, Lord help me out with season 3 is about her even growing. It's coming of age, which again could have worked really, really well if you had paralleled it with her whole struggle to accept her powers. Maybe she tries to get rid of them at some point. that could have been super interesting.
Yeah.
But no, season 3 is just her being a teenager and then realizing, oh no, the Mind Flayer is here. I guess I better go kill it. Like, she doesn't really have an arc. And then season 4 is the same thing. She's in California. She's having
bullied.
Yep, she's having social problems. She's getting bullied. She doesn't have her powers anymore, but that doesn't really seem to bother her too much. Like, she's like, okay, whatever. Yeah. She's a freaking weirdo, and so kids don't like her.
God, the whole scene, all the scenes in California piss me off.
Well, because they have nothing to do with anything.
Well, they have nothing to do with anything, but also, like, if you want to just completely grind fucking Will and Mike's characters into dust, just go watch those scenes.
But let me finish.
No. I was just saying.
I know, but that scream, it puts it. See, you threw me off. Okay, just let me finish. Like, shit, Dallan.
It doesn't have anything to do with anything.
No, they didn't have anything to do with anything. And I was talking about Elle.
Mm-hmm. But then she has to go.
Effed me up.
She has to go out of California.
Well, she's in California, she's having social problems. None of that has anything to do with anything. She clocks this girl in the face with a skate.
Yep.
The government goes after her, and then, oh, look, Father or Papa, whatever the hell his name is still alive.
Somehow.
I'm gonna take you back to this experimental place so you can fully unlock your powers, which, again, was never really a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then she somehow gets there in time to save everybody or whatever.
Yeah. And then, like...
And it's just this freaking... Like, she has no internal arc. There's nothing going on in her emotional, internal world that mirrors what's going on the outside. Like, those things need to be coherent. They need to be lined up, and they need to be closely connected.
Yeah.
If it had been a whole question of... She defeats the monster in the beginning, but that freaks her out, and she's like, oh my god, what did you turn me into? What am I? Especially when she gets out and she sees that not everyone else is like her. She feels like a freak and she doesn't want to anymore. Like I said, maybe she tried to get rid of her own powers. That would have been way more interesting than her losing them.
Yeah.
And then she has to go through this whole arc of hating who she is to accepting who she is. It's a self-acceptance story.
Yeah.
Or it could have been.
It could have been.
Like, that's one of the dozens of ways that you could fix the middle of Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I would agree with that. Yeah. I don't think there's much hope for season 5. And, I feel like public response has also kind of shown that. People, like, this has been, the trailer kind of dropped with all the grace and fanfare of a fart in church, so I don't think, like, it's just not, people aren't into it anymore. If you got the seasons out a little quicker, maybe, I feel like that would have helped them too. Mm-hmm. If they actually put themselves on a time crunch, they're like, you need to get this out, and instead of farting around for like years upon years and not doing anything with the scripts, I feel like that would have helped out a lot, because it would have fucking disciplined them to write a little better and not, like, faff around with characters and come up with a whole bunch of stupid ideas that have no relevance to anything. Mm-hmm. It's amazing what putting yourself on a time limit does for your creativity. It actually helps out a lot.
It can. It doesn't always, but it can.
Not always, but yeah, it certainly can, because it pushes you to think outside the box. Mm-hmm. And it sometimes comes with really good results. So, yeah, I just feel like... it's past its due, past its due date. And, they're releasing these in theaters, the big finale in theaters.
Are they? Really?
Yeah, and I don't know how well that's going to be received. But we'll see, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was our big rant on Stranger Things.
Well, hopefully you got some storytelling things out of it.
Yeah,
Like I said, the biggest problem here is that the whole point of the middle is setting up a satisfying end, but because the middle has been such a mess, I think the ending's just gonna fall flat, unfortunately. Yeah. I'm gonna watch it, because I've been with it since the beginning.
Yeah.
And again, I'm still invested in at least Steve and Dustin as characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say they're the only two, though, really.
Not Max anymore.
Well, she's in a coma. I mean,
yeah, that's fair. Erica, I'm interested in seeing where
yeah,
Erica goes.
Erica, like if Max wakes back up, but I mean, in my opinion, they've already kind of ruined it with her because they backtracked on her escaping Vecna.
Yeah.
Once she escaped Vecna that first time in season 4, that should have been it.
Yeah, no.
He shouldn't have come back for her. It should have been someone else that like, again, this could have been really cool if someone else was subtly foreshadowed as being a potential
victim.
Yeah, like alternate if one of the other ones didn't work out.
Yeah.
Because you can't, I mean, Vecna's a schemer. You can't tell me the dude didn't have several other people picked out.
Yeah.
And, like, it would have been cooler if it had gone that way. And then, you know, you could watch Max wrestle with Survivor's Guilt, especially if it's someone who she was connected to in any way.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like that would have been way cooler.
See, internal arcs. You need internal arcs in the middle for this shit to work.
Please.
And so, but we'll see.
Yeah,
I mean,
we'll see.
The ending's not going to be great. It just isn't because it hasn't been set up.
No.
Well, nothing is in place to make it great.
Yeah.
But it could be okay, so we'll just see.
Yeah. I think we'll skip the overdose for today. We'll do it next time. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this 12th episode of Stranger Things.
God forbid.
Of Plot Pill Podcast. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you guys enjoyed. What do you guys think of Stranger Things? What do you guys think of Yakuza? Please let us know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. I'd love to actually hear what you guys think, because I know most people are probably going to talk about how, they waited too long to do seasons, and I agree.
They did.
I agree.
It's another part of the problem. It's outside the story, but they did wait too long.
Way too long. So.
Yeah. Or if you're writers, tell us what you think is the hardest part about middles.
Yes, what do you think is like the most difficult part about writing the middle of your story? And please let us know. So we'll be recording some more Plot Pill Plays tomorrow night, which I'm very excited for, because we're going to be starting up BioShock, the first BioShock, which I am very excited for Jordan to see. She has never even heard of BioShock. Well, she's heard of BioShock. She's never seen BioShock. And she has no idea about the storyline of BioShock.
Nope.
Which means all the twists are going to be fresh. And I cannot wait to see that, because that didn't happen to me. I played BioShock while it was spoiled to me. So I'm excited to see someone who's completely fresh in it, to see the big spoilers that happen in those games. So I hope you guys are excited for that. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.
Later.